Next section, village community in India. %73% of total population living in Indian villages. Villages play an important part in Indian life. From the prehistoric times, the village has been enjoying an important place as the unit of Indian social structure. India can right be called a land of villages. The bulk of her population lives in the villages. According to the census 1991, about 75% of the total population lives in villages. Characteristics of Indian villages. Characteristics of Indian villages. First, isolation and self-sufficiency. Second, peace and simplicity. Third, conservation. Four, poverty and illiteracy. 5, local self-government. Detail going on. First, isolation and self-sufficiency. Almost till the middle of the 19th century, the villages in India were more or less self-contained, isolated and self-sufficient units. The inhabitants of the village had very little to do with the people outside. All of their essential needs were satisfied in the village itself. Second, peace and simplicity. The second feature of Indian village is the atmosphere of simplicity, calmness and peace prevailing therein. In the village, there is no noise and little sophistication. The human activities of modern civilization are rarely seen there. Though occasionally a car or a bus rolling along the road enveloped in thick clouds of dust may be seen there, but on the whole, life in the village moves with traditional tranquility and peace. The villagers lead a simple life, eat frugally, dress simply, and live in mood. Houses completely lacking in the trapping of modern civilization. Three, conservatism. The inhabitants of villages are strongly attached to old customs and traditions. Their outlook is primarily conservative and they accept changes with extreme reluctance. They love old ways and are less eager to follow the advice of enthusiastic social reformers regarding their marriage and other customs. Four, poverty and illiteracy. Probably the most glaring and also depressing features of Indian villages are the poverty and illiteracy of the village people. They are generally poor with a very low income. They take uneven food and put a abrasive clothes. The pressure on land is high, resulting in fragmentation of holdings and poor productivity. Besides poverty, the village people are steeped in ignorance and illiteracy. The opportunities for education are meager in the village. The village school is generally in a run-down condition. Facilities for higher education are practically nil. Due to poverty, the villagers cannot send their sons and daughters to city for education. Due to illiteracy, they cannot improve upon their agriculture or supplement their income by other means. Poverty is thus the cause and effects of illiteracy, and the backwardness of the villages. Five, local self-government. The villages in ancient India enjoyed a considerable measure of autonomy or self-government. The villagers managed their own affairs through the traditional institution of panchayat. The central government had neither the inclination nor the means for interfering with the self-government of villages. With the advent of Britishers in India, their introduction of highly centralized system of administration, the improvement of panchayats began to decline. Their judicial powers were taken over by the British court, and the officers were appointed to look after the administrative affairs of the Indian villages. This change produced unpleasant results, since the times of Lord Ripon attempts were made to review the old system of village local self-government, but the progress was very slow in this direction. attainment of freedom, now fresh efforts are being made to strengthen the panchayat system and make panchayats play a better part in the work of national reconstruction. The 73rd Amendment Act 1993 has laid the foundation of strong and vibrant Panchayat Raj institutions in the country. Features of village community in India. First feature, basis of social organizations. Second, group of people. 3, definite locality. 4, small size. 5, importance of neighborhood. 6, community sentiment. 7, predominance of primary relations. 8, joint family system. 9, marriages. 10, agricultural economy. 11, caste system. 12, Jajami system. 13, simple life. 14, faith in religion. 15, panchayats. 16, homogeneity. 17, informal social control. 18, mobility. 19, status of man. 20, standard of living. 21, culture. 22, preserves of ancient culture. 23, stability and continuity. Detail going on. First, basis of social organization. In India, there are more than 500,000 villages. 80% of the Indian population lives in these villages. Hence, in every respect, the future of India is very much linked with the development of villages. Second, group of people. Village community signifies a group of people in which the people do not take part in a particular interest. On the other hand, they share the basic conditions of a common life. Three, definite locality. Locality is the physical basis of village community. A group of people forms village community only when it begins to reside in a definite locality. Four, small size. Village communities are small in size. The census in India designates a place with 5,000 inhabitants as a village community. 80% of the Indian villages have less than 1,000 population each. Five, importance of neighborhood. Neighborhood relationship is another important feature of village life. Two factors, namely living in small proximity on the part of ruralities and an atmosphere of fellow feeling, friendship, sympathy and love available in the rural setting promote neighborhood relationship in the villages. Six, community sentiment. Community sentiment is the very essential of village community. The ruralities exhibits a strong sense of belongingness and we feeling often my own village is the natural expression of such community sentiment. Furthermore, the members have a sense of dependence on the community for both physical and psychological satisfaction. Seven, predominance of primary relations. A village community is often regarded as a primary group. It is characterized by the predominance of personal and as such relatively durable relations. There is comparative simplicity and sincerity in human relationship. Kinship groups play crucial role in the context of the village community. 8, joint family system. The joint family system still forms the basic structural unit in the village community. All the members live together under the same roof, take food cooked in the common hearth, hold property together. Participate in common worship and are related to each other as some particular type of allied. It is found that the number of joint families in villages is much more than that in towns and cities. 9, marriage. The villages for the most part practice endogamy. There is either no or very little freedom on the part of both boys and girls in matter of mate selection. 10, agricultural economy. It is the biggest occupation in rural India. It is essentially a way of life for the ruralities as they are all made for social life. Daily routines, habits and attitudes revolve around agriculture A small section of the rural population depends upon non-agricultural occupations such as carpentry, pottery, basket making, etc. for their livelihood, but these occupations are also indirectly related to the major occupation, that is agriculture. Caste system. Caste system is a unique feature of the Indian village community. It determines the role, status, occupation and marital relationships of the ruralities. The caste system exercises such a crucial influence on the villagers that it has rightly been described as the alpha and omega of village life. Judgmani system. Judgmani system is another particularity of village life in India. Under this system, members of a caste or many castes offer their services to the members of other caste, people to whom such services are offered are called judgments. Symbol life. It is interesting to observe that even in the materialistic age of today, the generality accepted ideal in the village is one of the simple living and high thinking. The villages are a simple and plain people. Their life is tranquil and peaceful. Faith in religion. Religion plays a paramount role in the life of the village. Religion's influence is visible in every important activity of village life, like harvesting of crops, birth, marriage, illness, etc. On all such occasions, the ruralities conduct religious ceremonies in the form of puja, mela. In this way, faith in religion is very strong in villages. 15. Panchayat. The functioning of the village as a political and social entity brought together members from different castes. The traditional village panchayat in the shape of village council performed a variety of tasks including the maintenance of law and order, settling of disputes, celebration of festivals and construction of roads, bridges and tanks. On the other hand, matters relating to the caste, rules, property and family disputes and other activities of serious nature were dealt with by the caste panchayat. Homogeneity. Homogeneity of people is another important feature of village communities. The members of village exhibit similarities in their dress, speech, beliefs, values, attitudes and behavior. Informal social control. The village community's social control is informal and direct. The primary groups like the family, neighborhood act as a powerful agencies of social control in villages. The traditional village panchayat and the caste panchayat also exercise much control on the deviant members of the community. Mobility. Territorial, occupational and social mobility of the rural population is limited. The reason is attributed to the lack of satisfactory spread of education in the rural areas. Status of women. Generally, the women in villages are not much educated and their social status is lower than that of their counterparts in the towns. Factors like prevalence of child marriage, joint family system, traditional ideals, old values, and lack of education among females are responsible for the low status of women. Standard of living. On account of gross poverty and lack of adequate employment opportunities, the standard of living of the ruralities is very low. Hence, most of them do not have home conveniences and recreational facilities. Culture. So far as village community is concerned, culture is more static than in towns. Greater importance is attached to religion and rituals. The ruralities are found to be more fatalistic than the urbanities. Preservers of ancient culture. From the sociological point of view, the villages are important because they preserve the ancient culture of the Indian society. The villages in India still have faith in the lofty ideals of the theory of pure Srishta and the doctrine of karma, and lead a simple and natural life marked by sacrifice, theistic tendency, etc. Stability and continuity. The village communities in India are relatively more stable. The reason is possibly attributed way of life, the norms of behavior, customs of family relations, tendency of community life, etc. In fine, these are some of the most important characteristics of a village community. Life in village is more natural and orderly. Changes in village community are changes in Indian rural life. A detail going on. Changes in the law of nature. It is the need of life. Change is but natural in human communities. The village community is less susceptible to change than the urban communities, but it does not imply that village community undergoes no change. It is also undergoing change through the speed of changes compared to urban communities slow. One, caste system change. Second, judgmental system change. 3, family system change. 4, marriage system change. 5, living standard have been changed. 6, economic system change. 7, political system have been changing. A detail going on. First, caste system. The British rule in India gave a serious blow to the caste system in the villages. The economic policy and laws of British rules and rulers induced the different castes to adopt occupations other than the traditional ones. The hold of caste panchayat was loosened. The status of village man was determined on the basis of his economic position and personal attainments. The restriction on food, dress, mode of living and other matters imposed under caste system were removed. even untouchability was weakened. Thus, the caste system has now lost its traditional hold in the villages. However, casteism is getting strengthened on account of selfish political interest. Second, judgment system have been changed. Social stratification in India. The judgment system, the feature of village community in India, has now weakened due to the governmental efforts to raise the status of lower caste and impact of urbanization. The occupations adopted by the village people are not entirely hereditary based on caste system nor the payment for services rendered by the lower caste is in kind. It is now mostly caste payment. Three, family system. The joint family system is no longer the peculiar characteristics of village community. Nuclear family have taken its place. The family control over its members in matters of diet, dress, and the marriage has weakened. The family is no longer an economic unit. Several activities which once were carried within the family are now performed by outside agencies. The education of village girls has raised the status of rural women. 4. Marriage system. Change can also be seen in the institute of marriage. Although intercaste marriages are rare and parents continue to dominate the mate choice, yet the boys and girls are consulted by the parents in the matter of mate choice. Love marriages and divorces are almost non-existent. The individual qualities like education, economic pursuit, beauty and appearance of the marriage partners are given preference over the old family status. There is now less expenditure on family marriages. The marriage rights also have been minimized. The custom of child marriage is being abolished. 5. Living standards. The standard of living in the village community is gradually going higher. The rural diet no more consists of coarse food only. It now includes vegetables, milk, bread, tea, vegetable ghee. The dress is getting urbanized. The youths put on pants and the girls put on frocks and bell bottoms. Even the old ladies put on blouses instead of shirts. The mill cloth is used in place of handloom cloth. Gold ornaments have replaced the old heavy silver ornaments. The young boys live bare-headed with well-camped long hair, while the girls use cosmetics. Six economic systems have been changed. Change has also taken place in the economic field. The educated rural youth seeks jobs in the cities rather than settle on the land. The demand for new scientific instruments of the agriculture is increasing. The farmers have been taught new methods to raise their production. The rural cooperative societies have listened the woes and miseries of the village people in getting seeds, fertilizers and credit. Seven political system. Olden Indian villages was governed by caste panchayats, but modern Indian villages governed by village panchayats, governed by people through democratic principles. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.